It's opening day here at Foxborough Stadium. The Patriots being introduced, and everybody is ready to go. Crowd is going crazy here. The energy is flowing on opening day. The New England Patriots hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hello, everybody. I'm Ray Bentley along with Ron Pitts and Ronnie. Tampa Bay was very busy in the offseason. They added 3 Pro Bowlers to the offense.
You know, they felt they were one play away from the Super Bowl, one step. Tony Dungy said, how do I get that next step? The answer in the NFL is always talent. They went out and got more of it. They started with experienced veterans, guys like Randall McDaniel, Jeff Christie from Minnesota on the offensive line. They're winners. They've been in winning programs. He wants that to permeate throughout the team. But the big impact man right there, Keyshawn Johnson. Get him the football. He is a superstar. The question, Ray, can Sean King get him the football?
And that is the big question, because King's got a difficult task, because Bill Belichick is the defensive coordinator as well, and he's game planning to confuse Sean King.
Nobody confuses young quarterbacks and really dissects offenses like Bill Belichick does. He knows how to get in there and get to the weakness. What he will do today is use 2 guys, Willie McGinnis, his defensive lineman. He'll stand him up and use him as a linebacker. He'll move him around to cause havoc. Look at the matchup between Ty Law and Keyshawn Johnson. They both make a lot of money, and this is what you want to see on opening day. Let them go after it. It's big time.
The Pats and the Bucks shot blanks at each other in preseason 2 weeks ago. Today, live bullets will be flying. Opening day kickoff is coming up next. Welcome back to Foxborough. Let's go down to the sidelines. Chip Carter is with Tony Dungy.
Thanks a lot, Ray. Coach, obviously Keyshawn Johnson would like to get the ball early. Do you feel you have to get the ball to him early to get him into the flow?
No, we don't think we have to. We want to see how they're playing, but we plan to get it to him, no doubt about it.
The key to winning this game, you think, depends on Sean King.
I do. I think they're going to really do some things to take our running game away. We want to run it, but I think we're going to have to make some plays in the passing game.
And then they're going to look for Sean to beat him.
Definitely.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck this afternoon. Let's go back upstairs to Ray.
And you know what? That could be the danger if Sean King feels like he has to force the ball to Keyshawn Johnson too early. That's one of the pitfalls that happened here in preseason.
Right, and I don't know if he's going to feel like he has to force it to him, but I think he's going to feel like he's got a new toy that he wants to play with.
You're right. That new toy can only sit for so long.
Well, we'll find out right away as Tampa Bay won the toss, elected to receive. Adam Vinatieri kick it deep. Carl Williams back at his 5 for Tampa Bay. Williams from 2 yards deep. Breaks it outside.
Ball's out.
The ball late. That's a loose ball. Patriots think they have it. And they do.
You know, everybody talks about the energy and emotion of opening day. And here's a perfect example of it right here. If you're the head coach, that's one of the nightmares you have, especially playing away. You go down on opening kickoff and you fumble the ball. Watch 25 Wiggum. You know, they teach that. That's a clean rip. Carl Williams getting his first shot really at being the guy on special teams as far as returning kicks, and that's just a great play by a guy who's played some very good special teams for the New England Patriots and Larry Wiggum.
That's right. He went to the Pro Bowl in '97 as a special teams player. So the Patriots come up with the ball 1st and 10 at the Bucks 28-yard line. Falk. Nothing in the middle. Ahanatu waiting for him.
Tackle made by Gigi Ahanatu.
And New England goes right to the hurry-up.
Yeah, a little something different here. Haven't shown this throughout the preseason. Except down in Washington, they ran a little 2-minute drill, no huddle. It was good to, and then you had a feeling you might see it again.
Belichick trying to get that offense going. A counterplay fault. Tries the middle again. Second effort gets him up to the 22-yard line. Warren Sapp getting off the bottom of the pile. And they're going to it again. What's this do to you early in a game?
Well, first of all, Ray, you know, on defense, you can't get the call in from the sideline. Look how late Tampa Bay is getting lined up.
Still making the call, and Bledsoe's making his call from the line as well. Big third down, 3rd and 4.
In fact, Tampa Bay is so confused they had to call timeout. They blow one just so they don't have a mistake down here in the red zone.
Their first charge timeout.
And that's a good choice, a good decision, I think, to make that call. But you have to wonder right now, you're missing Hardy Nickerson, you're missing Brad Culpepper, and now you have confusion on defense.
Yeah, and that's part of it too, but I think you have to give some credit there to Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator, and also to Bill Belichick, of knowing what the situation was and going for the halt. They knew they had the big turnover. They know they're at home, all the emotions. Now let's throw the no huddle on them right now. Perfect time for it.
Well, that's a great strategy. Here's what we talked about earlier in the Fox Watch in the pregame show today. Culpepper gone here just a few weeks ago when Hardy Nickerson left for Jacksonville. Now to replace those guys, Anthony McFarland, last year's #1 pick, starts at the nose tackle, his first start, and then Jamie Duncan starts at linebacker. He had 6 starts in '98, but didn't start at all last year. Didn't play much at all last year. 3rd down and 4 now. Bledsoe's first pass complete for the first down, out to Terry Glenn.
You know, going back to what you're saying there, Ray, about Culpepper not being there and Hardy Nickerson, I'm not so sure that even if those guys were there, that you still wouldn't call timeout in that situation. You know, that's like walking around the corner and get hit with a baseball bat there.
Yeah, you could burn one at that point.
Right, the fumble, you know, then they come no huddle on you. There's a lot going on. But remember, the Bucs last year were 2nd in the NFL in red area defense. So they've been there. They have a pretty good idea of how to respond.
Bledsoe on play action all day to throw, and now just throws it away outside. Good coverage in the secondary by Tampa Bay. Well, now that the pace has slowed down a little bit, let's take a look at the Patriots offense. Led by quarterback Drew Bledsoe, one of the sturdiest quarterbacks in the NFL. Up front, Armstrong, Fletcher, Woody, Max Lane, and Grant Williams, who didn't play at all in the preseason. Falcon Carter, the running backs. Terry Glenn, Troy Brown are the receivers. Eric Bjornson, over from Dallas, is at tight end.
Empty backfield, no protection.
Bledsoe, you don't see this often, scrambles outside, takes a hard shot to the legs and gets knocked out of bounds. That's Rondé Barber coming up with a hit. Barber sheared him off at the legs.
Yeah, he did. I'm surprised that Drew Bledsoe took that hit. But then again, when you look at the size of Drew Bledsoe, you're not surprised because he's a big, strong, physical guy. And in the preseason game, Alshon Singleton thought he was going to back off, and he gave him a flipper. And I think Donnie Abraham knew that, so he went down for the legs.
Another 3rd down, 3rd and 6. From the 12 of the Buccaneers. Bjornson in motion.
Blitz.
Bledsoe hit as he lets it go. Too high and wide for Bjornson. Pressure coming from Shelton Quarles.
And this is what the Bucs will do in this area. And you know what? It paid off. They forced the field goal in a very crazy situation. There's Singleton there. Excuse me, Quarles. He comes along with Barber. Perfectly timed called blitz by Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator. Like we said earlier, the Bucs last year were 2nd in the NFL in how to play in the red zone.
Adam Vinatieri set to kick a 30-yard field goal. And that is good. And the New England Patriots take a 3-0 lead. Give Tampa some credit. They held, didn't allow a touchdown. And the home crowd is happy here as the New England Patriots force the turnover on the opening kickoff of the season and cap it off with a 30-yard Vinatieri field goal to take a 3-0 lead, and Carl Williams will get another chance. We'll see about the truth. Vinatieri's kick to the goal line. Williams with room. redeems himself to some extent up to the 33-yard line, a 33-yard return. Tackled by Tony George. Right now, let's take a look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, led by second-year quarterback Sean King. One of 2 rookies to lead a team to win a playoff game since 1970. Up front, Pete Pearson, Randall McDaniel, and Jeff Christie over from Minnesota. Middleton and Wunsch round out the right side. Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott in the backfield. Keyshawn Johnson and Jaquez Green are the receivers. Dave Moore checks in at tight end, and there's Keyshawn. Going to be a big part of this offense, they hope. On first down, Dunn cuts back. Willie McGinnis hits him after a gain of 3. Patriots defense up front, led by Willie McGinnis, who just made that last play. Mitchell, Eaton, and Bobby Hamilton picked up from the Jets. Chris Slade, Andy Katzenmoyer getting the start today for Ted Johnson, and Teddy Bruschi, the other tight end. Langham and Law are the corners. DeBucky Jones and Lawyer Malloy are the safeties. King changes the play at the line. Second down and 7. Allstott. 3 yards on the carry.
A lot of questions for this Tampa Bay offense this year. First off the bat, the change at offensive coordinator. Mike Shula out. Les Steckel, offensive coordinator from Tennessee, in. A lot of people wondering, what are they going to run? They've shown a lot of variation in formations, spreading people out, using that guy right there in more of an H-back role. But it all comes down to, can you be productive in big situations like this? Third down.
3rd and 2. King will go from the shotgun. Dumps it outside. Incomplete, trying to hit Dave Moore. He was pressured by Slade and threw a bad pass.
We talked about Bill Belichick using his defense and causing havoc, moving a lot of people around, never letting anybody get set purposely so the offensive line can't get a beat and get their blocking schemes together. Slade doing a nice job of getting pressure on King.
That'll bring Troy Brown back to return the punt. Mark Royals set the kick for Tampa Bay. Royals, a good high, deep kick. Brown from the 11. Got plenty of room to work with. Brown gets the corner. Look out. Brown up to midfield before he's knocked out of bounds by the punter, Mark Royals. Another big special teams play for the New England Patriots, a 40-yard return, and they'll start with the ball at the 50-yard line when we come back. New England up 3-0.
Both coaches talked about one thing being really important in this game, and that's special teams. And so far, you've had a fumble on a kickoff that led to 3 points for the New England Patriots, and then a huge return here, and all that equates to is great field position.
40-yard return. Thank you, Troy Brown, as the Patriots begin at midfield. Falk in motion, empty backfield. Bledsoe. And he'll be sacked. No, he gets away from Sapp. And he's chased down by McFarland. Well, yeah, how do you get away from Warren Sapp?
Warren Sapp is right here. Now he's going to get penetration. Watch this. This is Sali Asai at number 72. Talk about great awareness.
Wow.
He stops his block, goes back, and knocks Warren Sapp off of Drew Bledsoe. That's also a tribute to Bledsoe's size and strength.
Great play by Asai. As Falk takes it for a yard or 2 on second down.
You know, you look at Sali Asai, a guy they just picked up, shows you some of that movement they've had in that offense.
And they're still going in that hurry-up, no-huddle mode is New England. Reminds me of the K-gun back in the Buffalo Bills days.
We know this real well.
And I tell you, playing defense against it, you get worn out in a hurry. Quarterback sneak, Bledsoe, first down. How about that?
You remember at practice, the guys were yelling out to Bledsoe to go ahead and call your own number, and he ran that a couple times. And they run that when they feel they've got enough space. They got everybody spread out. And if he can see the gaps, he's going to take it, call his own number.
And Drew Bledsoe, the leading rusher in the game right now with 3 carries for 18 yards. Who'd have thunk? It's Jeff Triplett, our referee today.
This is a veteran defensive coordinator surrounded by some veteran players, and he's getting them together and telling them, look, we got more time up there than you think in a no-huddle situation. Don't panic, and let's get the call in and get it played. And they've done a pretty good job of it so far.
1st and 10 from the 10. King throws a pass, almost picked off. Antonio Langham stepped in front of Green and almost stole one.
Right now, this is a field position problem for Tampa Bay. You know, they've had one pretty decent shot there, but you're backing up a young quarterback and against a defense that does a really good job of confusing people. And I think it's smart that Sean has tried to go away from Keyshawn, but pretty soon you're going to have to force the ball to your playmaker.
All-Star, nothing. There's still Teddy Bruschi still trying to rip the ball out.
Another thing to remember is you look at Keyshawn Johnson there. Is Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming up on this 3rd and long. They have been notoriously bad starters. Tony Dungy told us last night one of the reasons for the changes in offensive coordinator to try to jumpstart some of that. Get a little bit more productivity going so we're not chasing people throughout the game.
Bucs scored just 34 first quarter points last year. 2nd fewest in the NFL. 3rd and 9. King from the gun. Blitz comes. Downfield.
Got him.
Caught. Jaquez Green.
What a play.
There's a flag coming in after the play, a gain of 24.
I just talked about going away from Keyshawn where you're probably going to have the attention, the doubles, all that. Jaquez Green coming up with a big play and getting an interference tacked on top of it.
Face mask. 38. Defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That was not a pretty pass, but it got there. Here comes the blitz. Teddy Bruschi right up the middle along with Malloy. They pick up Malloy. Nice job by Warwick Dunn. Sean King takes a hit. Hey, everybody in the league knows that Antonio Langham has had trouble. That's where they go with the football.
A sneaky little push-off by Green.
Well, you know, the receivers are going to do that. They don't get called for it. But that's a great adjustment to the ball by Jaquez Green.
1st and 10 from midfield. Play action. Outside, Keyshawn Johnson, his first catch as a Buccaneer, good for 11 yards and a 1st down.
It's funny, last night, Keyshawn, we asked him, what kind of advice did you give Sean when you came down here? He said, I didn't tell him anything. He said, well, then again, I did tell him one thing. Don't worry about throwing me a bad ball. If you just get it out there where I can see it, I'll catch it. Now, how is that for veteran confidence coming in to help you out?
That's not bad. Cape in motion, sets in the backfield. Play action again. King downfield into the corner, overthrows his intended receiver, Jaquez Green. Right now for an NFL update, let's go to JB in Hollywood.
Ray and Ron, you remember Terry talking during the pregame show about the mobility of the quarterbacks, the young QBs in the Central. Take a look at Cade McNown. Finds John Allred for the score. McNown was 5 of 6 for 56 yards. It's 7-3 Bears. Back to Ray Bentley and Ron Pitts.
A lot of good young second-year quarterbacks in this league. It's going to be exciting for a long time coming watching them. And Sean King is one of them, and he faces a 2nd and 10 from New England's 39.
Reverse.
Here comes a reverse to Keyshawn. Willie McGinnis. Can't fool that veteran.
This is the advantage of having versatility in your players. Willie McGinnis is a linebacker who came into this league, switched him the defensive line, but he plays like a linebacker. That's just great discipline of staying backside. The reverse went away. He didn't chase it. He stayed back and made a play.
Kind
This
of
is just good,
abused Sean King in the process.
That's just good USC Trojan on USC Trojan right there.
Third down, and Sean King's going to take the second Buccaneers timeout here with 4:19 to go in the first quarter. Tampa Bay driving, New England with a 3-0 lead. Well, one of the reasons that Tony Dungy brought Keyshawn Johnson into this lineup is to convert on third downs. You see the success Johnson's had in his career on third downs.
All right, and this is a perfect example. You've driven all the way down the field. You've made big plays and counterpunched well. Now you have to be able to move the chains as you approach the red area.
Big 3rd and 7. Work done in the backfield. Patriots show blitz and back out. King has to throw it away. Pressure coming from Chris Slade.
You know, one of the things you don't want to get involved in with this defense is a bad matchup. And they'll throw you some 43 defense, 4-down linemen, 3 linebackers. Then they'll give you some 3-down linemen, 4 linebackers. This is Slade on the outside. He's just working on Pearson. It just beats him around the corner. And there's been a problem there at that left tackle. Gruber retiring and Odom being hurt. The coverage is just great down the field. They got a little double there on Keyshawn. That's why Sean King had to look backside.
Little bracket on Johnson, which he expected in third down situations. Royals into punt again. Troy Brown. He ran for 40 on the first return. Set to return this one, but the flag comes out.
False start, 58 offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Don Davis, backup linebacker and special teams man, got an early start. Royals has a 48-yard punt and a heck of a tackle.
I got to believe that Royals' head is still ringing a little bit from that tackle. It was a very good one, but those can affect how you kick the next time out for some of those punters.
Royals hangs it high. Brown lets it go into the end zone for a touchback. And New England will take over on their own 20-yard line after a 41-yard punt, net of 21 for Mark Royal.
Well, thus far as we look at Brad Sealer, the special teams coach, it's been a defensive battle like we thought, but special teams have really played big for the New England Patriots. First off, the fumble there and the recovery in Bucs territory, then the huge return by Tony Brown. Give the Patriots great field position, but we go back to the Bucs defense, only 3-0 New England in spite of all that.
Reverse, Brown. Brown with a seam. Look out. All the way down to the Buccaneers' 44-yard line, a 34-yard run. Brian Kelly finally catches up with Troy Brown.
New England back into that no-huddle look, and you have a big play, and look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Dragon.
They're just walking around. They're trying to find out how to just line up here.
And New England stays in the hurry up. Falk hit immediately by Brooks. Loss of 1.
There's no substitute for speed and tenacity on defense. Brooks just coming across the line, making a great open field tackle on Falk. You see Duncan, 59, coming out of the game.
He'll come out in passing situations.
And you know what?
Pretty much a first down run type play.
Right, and that's the another problem with no huddle is that you can't get your right defensive people on the field.
Bledsoe dumps it off underneath the Falk. He's hit by Lynch and Shelton Quarles, pickup of 10. It'll be 3rd down and a yard. Bledsoe taking his time making this call.
And that's the thing you have in this offense. No huddle, you have plenty of time if you line up at the line right after the play.
Bledsoe back. He's going to be sacked. Pressure coming, and Warren Sapp gets him and hangs on this time.
Warren Sapp said, you know, in the first quarter, I like to beat the crud out of the man across from me. And then later on, if I get that one big play, then I'm on. I'm off. Okay, I can get going. They tried to block him, and he wanted the guy in front of him to know. Max Lane said, you cannot block me, son. You will not be able to block me. And that time, Max Lane didn't block it.
Sapp said all he needs is to strike the match, and the fire is burning. So it brings up a 4th and 8, and Lee Johnson's on to punt it to Carl Williams. This one traveling inside the 10, takes a New England bounce, batted back into the field of play.
No, it's going to be a touchback.
And it is called a touchback. One of the players who touched it from New England apparently stepped into the end zone first. So a 43-yard kick turns out to be a 23-yard net for Lee Johnson. And Tampa Bay will start from the 20. Jeff Triplett.
Member of the kicking team stepped in the end zone, then batted the ball back. That is a illegal first touch. Therefore, touchback, 1st and 10, Tampa Bay on the 20.
The problem is Simmons established himself basically not in the field of play. Watch here. If any part of his body is in that end zone.
Yeah, I think it was Wiggum. It was Wiggum who had his foot on the line.
I don't know that his foot was on the line.
Look at Wiggum on the, well, you can't see it from there, but
yeah,
25,
it wasn't
Wiggum.
Simmons, it was Wiggum. I don't know that his foot was on the line. And I think they're going to have a replay here.
Well, I tell you, it was Wiggum whose foot was on the line, and he touched the ball as well as Brown.
And that would be the right call if Wiggins' foot is on the line. He is now in the end zone.
See the red flag in Bill Belichick's hand.
New England has challenged the ruling on the field. It was an illegal touch and a touchback.
So we have our first replay challenge. And here's Wiggum, 25.
Now, if his left foot right there is on that line.
Well, his right foot is for sure.
And if he is the first to touch this ball, the person to bat it back over, then that would be an illegal touch and a touchback.
Yeah, I think it clearly is.
Right. There it's clear. And also, you know, both of them seem to touch it at the same time, but I think Wiggum was clearly over the line, or on the line.
Here's another look, the high bounce.
It looks from there like his foot is on the line.
Yeah, his right foot was definitely on the goal line. Here, watch this one. Right there.
Yeah.
Both feet
Yeah.
penetrated the end zone.
Both feet are in. His left foot hit the line here, and now that foot is in. He is established as in the end zone. Now, if he is the first person to touch it and knock it back, even though he makes a clean play, it doesn't matter because he is in the end zone player. It is a touchback. He has to be in the field of play when he touches that ball. And the ball has to be in the field of play.
Jeff Triplett taking a look at it, and what we're talking about here is field position, 20 yards, 15 yards. Really, Tampa Bay will either be backed up inside their 5-yard line, or they'll take the ball from the 20, depending on the call that Jeff Triplett will make after looking at these replays.
And, you know, the thing is here is that has to be totally conclusive. Now, for our replay zero, we saw it was totally conclusive. I think that he was in the end zone.
I agree with you 100%. I think this will be a touchback.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. It is a touchback. Number 25 of New England touched the goal line and batted the ball back. Even though 81 also, who did not touch in the end zone, touched the ball, it is still a touchback. New England is charged a timeout.
Yeah, there's another problem, Ray. They touched that ball simultaneously. If Simmons can touch it first, that would have been a great play.
Right, and a good hustle play by both of them, but Wiggum got his foot across the line. You see him hugging Lee Johnson. Sorry, dog. Try not to do that next time.
I just messed with your average a little bit there, but you know.
So New England loses the timeout on that deal. They have one left. Excuse me, New England with Yeah, New England with 1 left, Tampa Bay with 2 remaining. Here in the first quarter, 1:37 left. Patriots up 3-0. Tampa Bay with the football. Allstott tries to cut back, hit by Mitchell, squirts his way for a couple more yards, give him 3 on the play.
It's funny, coaches can talk about new things they want to do in the offseason. They talked about spreading Allstott out and doing this and that. I think when it comes down to it, you go back to what you know best, and the Bucs last couple series have gotten back to Allstott up the gut, what they know best. But I got a feeling we're going to see a play action here soon.
Allstott behind King again on 2nd and 6. Green goes in motion. Rollout by King. Nowhere to go. He'll tuck it and run, and Sean King is hit at the 27-yard line. Coming up was Teddy Bruschi. Boy, there's great coverage downfield.
You know, and it's not man-to-man. It's not always going to be that great matchup with Ty Law. Here, Keyshawn Johnson's working on the safety. And this just is a zone coverage. Look at Ted Johnson. He's actually looking up Keyshawn from the line of scrimmage out, giving an offense different forms of double coverage. There just isn't a corner and a safety doubling. You can double with linebackers. You can double with defensive ends. You can double guys from anywhere on the field if you know what you're doing.
3rd and 2. Allstott, first down. Chris Slade makes the tackle along with Tabucky Jones, but the Bucs get the first down. They convert, and they'll switch it around. That's the end of the first quarter here. New England Patriots with a 3-0 lead over Tampa Bay in this defensive struggle. An overcast, muggy day here at Foxborough Stadium, opening day. New England Patriots take a 3-0 lead after 1 quarter of play. Tampa Bay 1st and 10 from their own 32. Warwick Dunn, his 2nd carry of the game. Gets up to the 35-yard line where Bobby Hamilton makes his acquaintance.
Tony Dungy told us something interesting last night. He said, you know, the way we play and start so slow, if we're down by 7, we think we're ahead by 3.
Right.
And you can see that here. They're not getting away from the run program. And that's why I made that point about Allstott going back to what they know. And actually, Allstott has more productivity, more carries than Dunn does right now, even though Dunn is supposed to be the feature guy. They're sticking with what they've known.
And not really impressive individual stats yet for this Buccaneers offense, which they had hoped would be more explosive, particularly early in a game. And here's Dunn with a cutback. Just shy of first down yardage, giving 6 on the play. Bruschi with a tackle.
You know, you watch the way Sean King is showing that football. That comes straight from something Les Steckel bought from Tennessee. And what that does is that influences the defense to bite on play action next time. Watch the way he shows the ball here. He puts it out there. I mean, it's clear that man is seeing the football. Now you hope when you pull it out of his gut that linebacker is standing that close to the line of scrimmage as well, and you can play action over his head.
All right, the key is to make it look the same way no matter what you're doing. 3rd and 1. Allstott behind McDaniel in the backfield. Allstott pounds his way for the first down. You saw Randall McDaniel in the backfield.
That was not an illusion. That is a big back. The Bucs are not afraid to put some extra beef in their backfield to open up holes. And that's an ISO that you like to have. You talk about matchups. I will take Randall McDaniel going against Chris Slade every weekend. Because I got to believe
on an ISO
play, I believe I can win that one if my guard has got 5 yards run and start.
Jeff Triplett stops play. There's a discussion amongst the officials.
You know, in Big Randall, I think that's what you have to do after you go back to that fullback position. You got to go get out and take that blow for a few plays.
When Randall goes into the backfield, Cozy Coleman, rookie number 2 draft choice out of Tennessee, takes his spot on the offensive line.
I'm
not sure I know what all that was about,
Well,
but it looked good.
Apparently they got it straightened out and didn't feel the need to tell us about it.
That's not the first time that's happened.
First down and 10, Dunn in the backfield behind King. Haight in motion. Work done, trying the outside. And he's caught from behind by Mitchell. And that's one thing that Tony Dungy wanted to do, and he thought he could do with the addition of McDaniel and Christie, is get a better outside running game. Because now he's got linemen who can move and get out there and make those blocks.
You're exactly right. Both of those guys can move. Now, maybe Randall doesn't move as well as he used to, but he can still get out there and blow you up. And Christie, a finesse guy, very quick, very smart with his hands. He can get positioning on a guy and create seams. And with Warrick Dunn, that's all you need are seams.
Dunn stays in on 2nd and 6. Johnson to the top. Play action.
There's
Keyshawn coming across wide open. He makes the catch. Keyshawn Johnson up to the 26-yard line where he's thrown out of bounds. He wants a flag and gets it. 26 yards on the play plus the penalty.
Keyshawn plays with a lot of energy. He likes to ref, coach, general manage, do it all out there. That's going to be a 15er, I think. Remember we were talking about the play action. Sean King showing the football and hopes to suck up the linebackers.
Personal foul. 34 defense. Unnecessary roughness. Half the distance. First down.
To Bucky Jones trying to send a message to Keyshawn, but let's go back to this great play.
Watch the way Sean King shows you the ball, and you see what it did to Ted Johnson. It froze him. If he stays back, he might be able to get a shot and slow down the timing, disrupt the timing of Keyshawn Johnson. Teddy Bruschi the same way. These two guys should be back. But that play action, showing the ball like we talked about, helps make that play work.
Jaquez Green gets the corner on Law.
Wow. Hey, you know what? Jaquez Green can fly. Because I know Ty Law can run. And he just kind of did the Barney Rubble skirt on the outside to him.
Buccaneers red zone offense. 27th in scoring, 31st. Last in the NFL in touchdown production last season. That's something that they need to get better at and have worked at.
And here you go 2 tight ends with Allstott. Guess what the play is?
Allstott for 1 yard up the middle.
And
Teddy Bruschi there.
And that right there answers your question to the bad productivity in the red area. Teddy Bruschi and Allstott jamming it up a little. You know, you go 2 tight ends, you go Allstott, or even if you go 1 tight end and then put Patrick Hape or Dave Moore in front of him, everybody knows what the play is going to be. You run that twice, now everybody knows you're going to throw on 3rd down.
But you know what a great runner Allstott is around the goal line, too.
Yeah.
You have to give it to him. 3rd and 3, yard to make the 3-yard line. Allstott cuts back.
Yeah,
touchdown Bucks.
You said it, Ray. You go with what you know. And we can talk about moving this guy in this position and putting the guy here and doing all this, but when it comes down to nut cutting time, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers know what Mike Allstott is and what he can do.
You have to give it to him. Great vision by Allstott on the cutback. This play is designed to go to the left. He ends up outside the end on the right side.
Well, that's the advantage of Allstott. He's always been the halfback trapped inside that fullback's body. And most fullbacks can't make those kind of adjustments once they get going forward. He can.
Martin Gramatica on to attempt the extra point. It is good. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers take a 7-3 lead here in Foxborough on this run by Mike Allstott, 5 yards to the end zone.
Bill Belichick talking to Willie McGinnis there. Willie kind of went upfield, thought he had the bootleg on Sean King. He just ended up with a boot. The Bucs ended up with 6.
Great drive by the Buccaneers, 11 plays, 80 yards, almost 6 minutes, capped off by that 5-yard Allstott touchdown run. Gramatica kicks it deep. This is Kevin Falk. Falk with a seam. Got 4.4 speed. all the way up to the 47-yard line by Falk. A 40-yard return. And good field position for Tampa Bay, or for New England when we come back.
Allstott has room to run. Watch the block here by Dave Moore. And then McGinnis kind of takes himself upfield. He thinks Sean King has a football. Bam, right there. And another great block on the line, Jerry Wunsch. Watch this. You want to talk about getting pancaked?
That's a maul.
He just takes Bobby Hamilton and destroys it.
Special teams give New England good field position again. Ball marked at the 46. Falk in motion, no backs. Bledsoe. Nowhere to go with it, and he'll be sacked by Steve White.
And you know what? You give that credit to the defensive backs. That's a coverage sack. And the deal and the word on Drew Bledsoe is make him hold the football. And that's with any quarterback in the NFL, but if you can make him hold the football. Taking a look at Brian Kelly here, working on Terry Grin. Not much of a route there. I don't know if they had we're on the same page or.
Falk breaks a couple of tackles. John Lynch wraps him up. Gain of 4 on the play. That was the 4th sack by Tampa Bay here in the first half. That last one by Steve White.
Warren Sapp said we need to get vertical. That's all we're concerned about. We're not going to try to run as many games as we have run before. Without Culpepper, we can't do it right yet, but now we can get up the field.
3rd down, dumped off to Falk, and he'll be stopped by Derek Brooks, and the Patriots will have to punt.
And the Bluebirds come out now. All the talk has been about, well, where is Tampa Bay's offense going to go? But the New England Patriots offense has had some serious question marks. And the productivity they've had today, as you can see, somebody's checking out the paper whether see if the New England offense can get going.
Well, that Patriots offense has just 7 yards via the air here so far.
And what they've gotten, 3 points, has been off some great plays and special teams and great field position.
Carl Williams back to field. The Johnson punt signals for the fair catch and makes it right at the 9-yard line. That's where the Buccaneers will take over. They went 80 yards in their last drive. They'll have to go 81 this time. Tampa Bay with a 7-3 lead. 8:55 left here in the first half. Buccaneers defense has been dominant. They're on offense now. You see the starting position has been all New England. That's what's keeping them in this thing right now. Dunn. Stop for a loss. Penetration from Henry Thomas. Ty Law in the mix as well.
You talked about that. Tampa Bay's defense has just been slapping New England's offense around. And one of the problems in that offense for New England has been in the offensive line. You got 4 sacks already. They are all over Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, 10 pass attempts. And Bledsoe's only gotten 6 passes off. 40% of the time he drops back to throw, he's getting sacked.
And that's been the problem around here for quite a while.
2nd and 9. Dunn squirts through. Picks up 6 on the play.
I love to hear this talk about, well, Warwick Dunn, not really an inside runner. Maybe we'll try to run him outside more. Warwick Dunn can run anywhere. And now you've got some guys up front that know how to give him those little seams that he can fit through and have things happen. I don't think anybody in the NFL, now that Barry Sanders is out, is harder to tackle in the open field than he is.
Dunn with 6 carries, 23 yards. 3rd and 3. Keyshawn Johnson in motion. King rolls out, whips it to Johnson, incomplete. Good coverage by Langham.
Boy, that's a tough play there. You're going to roll to the short side of the field, and I know what the thinking was to just get the first down, make a quick throw. See, Ty Law isn't even matched up with Keyshawn. He's going on the other side. That's Antonio Langham. Nice play by Langham.
Right. 3 and out for the Bucs. Mark Royals on the punt. Troy Brown standing at his own 38-yard line. Patriots looking again at good field position. High, hanging punt. Brown to your 35. Brown. He's going to go.
He's gone.
65 yards, no flags, touchdown New England. Officially a 66-yard punt return for a touchdown by Troy Brown.
Well, if there's one phase in training camp that the Patriots worked on extra hard, it's paying off now. It's special teams. Whenever they've been just about down and can't make a play on offense, special teams seems to always put them back in it.
Brown averaged 10.7 per return last year. That's going way up as Vinatieri adds the extra point, and New England recaptures the lead 10-7 here over the Buccaneers on this Troy Brown punt return for a touchdown. New England on the merit of special teams retakes the lead 10-7. Troy Brown with that return, and New England has been dominant on special teams. That's what's kept them in the game. Otherwise, Tampa Bay has been all over them.
Right, and Tampa Bay's defense is taking care of business and keeping them in the game, but their special teams are killing them.
Carl Williams back to receive the Vinatieri kick. Short kick, Williams, all the way up to the 15 where he fields it. Williams gets outside. He gets up to the 39-yard line before he's brought down by Chatham. Here's that punt return.
Whenever you give a returner 10 yards of free space to catch the ball, he's going to kill you. Nice kick out block there. Now he's got a clear vision, clear length. He hasn't even been touched the entire time. You do a nice job on the ends, and a low line drive kick does not help matters. This is what Tony Brown looks at. I can tell you from experience, returning punts in the NFL, as long as you can see clean green, you know you got a shot for a big one.
First punt return for a touchdown in the career of Troy Brown. First one for the Patriots since Dave Meggett did it back in '96 against the Giants. King kicks it outside. Allstott breaks a tackle by Malloy, and Slade brings him down, and the special teams have been just dominant for New England. Look at the return yards compared to their total offensive yards in today's production.
I have to keep going back to two things. Bill Belichick talked about versatility on this team. I like guys who can do a lot of different things. You see guys like Kevin Falk back returning kicks and starting at running back. You have wide receivers back returning punts. You have to have that.
Dunn with room past midfield. Or Dunn with another cut all the way up to the 31-yard line. Flag at the line of scrimmage. 24-yarder for Dunn. We'll see if it comes back. And it will. Holding on the Buccaneers.
Holding, number 19, offense.
Keyshawn.
10-yard penalty, remains second down.
You know, they say whenever you have a big run by a running back on the outside, you got a great block on the outside. And one of the things that Ty Law said, look, Keyshawn holds every play. And I asked him if he would go to the official before the game and say, watch Keyshawn. He said, no, I'm not going to do that because invariably they'll call it on me, but that time they got it.
And the other thing, he said Keyshawn will go to him, and you saw Keyshawn afterwards trying to make a case. That wasn't holding.
Sometimes it's not always good to bring that awareness up that there's going to be holding involved.
Yeah, don't say the H word to the official. Second and 14 after the penalty. King from the gun. Hands off to Dunn, and he's smothered in the backfield. Chad Eaton in there. Eating him up.
That's one of those plays where you wonder if the defense didn't have the offense's playbook on that play. There's just no protection.
Well, Katzenmoyer came around the end untouched as well.
Well, you get hit with a run blitz in an obvious passing situation, and you run the ball, you're dead.
Third and 19 now. King with time. Zips it outside. Complete to Keyshawn. First down, Buccaneers.
Well, I don't know if New England was ready to cover that because the Bucs went into like a Big Ben look, a Hail Mary look. 3 wide receivers on the same side. They all went vertical, and Keyshawn just went out to the flat. Here he is. Now watch. He's just going to hide out to the flat. That's also why you have to try to bumpers. Great timing on the throw. Good awareness of Keyshawn, by Keyshawn, of where the first down marker is. So that's a veteran move right there.
He knew where it was. He laid the ball right on it after the catch. Bucs 5 of 8 now on third down conversions. Work done. Picks up 10 on play. Close to a first down. Langham with the tackle.
Warwick got a shot here. I don't know. He's still down. Wow, his helmet looks a little sprung. You know, the hesitancy in the past from running smaller guys inside is that they can't take that pounding over and over and over. And when you say smaller, Warwick Dunn is 5'8", 180, 85 pounds. That's small for an NFL running back. He's going to be taking those shots in there. Watch the size of the hole he gets through here. Watch how small it is. You believe that?
Just squirts through. When Langham came over and put a good shot on him.
And this is why, for good backs, you just need seams. I can't believe he got through there. Talk about getting yourself thin. Langham took a shot, too.
Yeah, I think it's one of them helmet-to-helmet shots right there.
No, I think Lawyer Malloy got him on the way down.
Well, he took 2 shots. Sounds of the game. Let's see if we can hear some plastic on plastic on this replay.
You might be right, Ray. Maybe Langham did get him a little bit.
I think they both got him. And you see Warwick Dunn kind of moving that neck around, making sure everything's still there.
Well, you know, in this offense here, if Les Steckler's going to run this anywhere near the way he ran Tennessee's offense, you're looking at Eddie George, a much smaller, compact version, of course. But that is the position. That is the guy he's got to be. Warwick trying to make sure his tongue is still in his mouth, too.
He came up just shy of the first down, so it'll be 2nd and inches. From the New England 41, and the Buccaneers got another good drive going. 4 plays, 20 yards thus far.
And you know, this has been 2nd and 1. You're in enemy territory, so to speak, for the offense. This traditionally has been waist down territory. This is when offenses have taken that shot downtown. I don't know if they'll do it, but
Allstott checks in for Dunn at the running back spot, dodges one man and picks up the first down. Hit by Teddy Bruschi.
And when Dunn is off the field, it becomes an Allstott first, worry about the pass second type of game.
Tampa Bay goes to the hurry up. And Allstott stopped for a short gain. And the Buccaneers will see if they'll huddle. And they're going to go back to that huddle now.
You get the feeling both offenses are going to try to do anything they can to get the defense off balance, even if it's only for one play. Warwick Dunn is still a little shaken up over there.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he has all his faculties back yet. Play action. King throws it up for Johnson. Incomplete.
You know, if they wanted to get T-Law on one, they might have got him on that one. And you see Keyshawn letting him know. Those two guys, they got a lot of respect for each other. Played in the Pro Bowl against each other, played against each other here in the division for so many years. Watch T-Law kind of grab a...
Oh, yeah. Take his hands off
that
their
was
legs.
a good one by good one by Keyshawn. He got me on that one. Those receivers, I tell you.
Yeah, you said they were actually co-MVPs in the Pro Bowl in 1998, were Johnson and Law. And here's the matchup today.
That's not much of a matchup.
Pretty
so
even-handed thus far, yeah. Now the Buccaneers take a timeout, facing 3rd down and 8. They have 1 timeout remaining with 3:32 left here in the first half. Tony Dungy trying to get things right. Well, 2 years ago, they led their teams to the Super Bowl. Now, after a season of injuries, Terrell Davis and Jamal Anderson are back. And it's all part of a Fox Sports doubleheader weekend that begins next Sunday with the pregame show at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. And all you fans out there who didn't used to get the doubleheader when your team had a home game that wasn't sold out, you will get that now. We're going to have a lot more football on for you on Sundays, so check your local listing. Third and 8. King goes long, incomplete. Looking for Jaquez Green, pressure by McGinnis.
That was nice coverage down the field. Keyshawn Johnson was dragging across the middle of the field, very shallow. And the one way you prevent that is to take a shot at him. And they took a shot at him. You can see him there.
Good job, going too far?
The word on Warrick Dunn is a strained trapezius muscle. Trapezoid, baby.
That's up there by your neck.
That's the one that makes your neck look real big. Royals backs this one up inside the 10-yard line. Down there by Shelton Quarles. And New England will finally start in a hole. They've had great field position up until now. This time they'll start backed up at their own 8-yard line.
They talked about Keyshawn coming across that inside. When a guy goes in there, you've got to try to get something on him.
Great job by
Bucky Jones. That's just enough, believe it or not, to throw off the timing and make Sean King look elsewhere. We talked a lot about that in the pregame show. Sean King is going to have that ability to look away from Keyshawn and get some other people involved. So far today, I think he's done that.
Rutledge in motion. Play action, actually a handoff, draw play to Falk, nowhere to go, and that Bucs defense continues to be dominant. Warren Sapp.
Hey, look, you got a problem when you're playing against Warren Sapp. See, Warren Sapp, he's got that engine going. He strike that match. You know, he's talking about that. And he said, we all have to talk more. Now that we don't have the same people here as we had last year that maybe talked, everybody else has got to step up a little bit more. And you know, it's hard to run when the defensive linemen are in your backfield consistent.
On 2nd and 11, Bledsoe wings it outside, complete to Terry Glenn, but Brooks is right there.
You know what? They can't block Warren Sapp. And he told us that last night. I'm going to make sure they know that they can't block me.
Working on Anderson.
He works on Anderson, but he gets a chip from Falk, and he doesn't get the sack. But you know what? He makes Drew Bledsoe get rid of that ball about a second earlier than he wants to.
3rd down and 8, and the clock is counting down towards the 2-minute warning, and that's where the Patriots will let it run. 3rd down and 8 when we come back. New England up 10-7 over Tampa Bay. Coming up on the Visa halftime report, JB, Terry, Howie, and Chris will have scores and highlights from around the league here on opening day. Plus, our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats coming up on the Visa halftime report as Falk takes the pass short of the first down, brought down by Brian Kelly. Once again, pressure on Drew Bledsoe.
And guess who? You know, Warren Sapp is just making a living of driving the guard into Drew Bledsoe's lap. And here he's working on Jason Anderson. I mean, come on. What more can you ask Drew Bledsoe to do? He's got to try to ward off Warren Sapp, get rid of him, and then throw the ball. As long as you have that, you will always be able to create havoc for offensive people.
And Warren Sapp said, he doesn't like to run the stunts, and the reason is because he can beat the man on it. Why bother running around? Let's just go vertical.
He said stunts are for guys that can't get upfield. He said, baby, I can get upfield. But he did admit that with Brett Culpepper there, he learned how to stunt and how stunts can help you play better. You don't always have to, beat the tar out of the guy in front of you to get to the quarterback. And getting to the quarterback is what it's about.
Plus, it set up other players, too, particularly when Sapp begins to draw those double teams, the chips, and those things.
And the key there is now McFarland has to be able to draw double teams. He's got to be as much of a force as Sapp has become.
Johnson back to punt. Carl Williams standing at the 40. Takes it at the 39. He's got room. Williams, a 10-yard return up to midfield. And special teams has been accounting for all of New England's points thus far. Opening kickoff, fumble forced by Wiggum, recovered by Serwanga. They got 3 points out of that, and here's the Troy Brown touchdown return on the punt.
Yeah, but in spite of all those great plays, the Bucs are still only 3 points behind. And that has to do with great defensive play. As you look at Rod Marinelli, the defensive line coach, talking to Sapp and McFarland, has to do with great defensive play and poor offensive play and lack of run game by the New England Patriots.
Bucs with no timeouts, 1:38 left on the clock, 50 yards to pay dirt. King dumps it off to Abdullah, and he is brought down immediately by Andy Katzenmoyer. Abdullah in the game because Warwick Dunn out with that injured neck. King, 3-step. Gets it out to his tight end, Dave Moore. Moore hit immediately by Wiggum.
That's a nice open field tackle by Wiggum. Good completion, but Wiggum avoids Moore, keeps Moore from going over, getting the first down, moving the chains. Now, of course, is Tampa Bay to have to get the chains moved first.
Third and very short. King throws the slant. Complete. Jaquez Green weaves his way inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line.
That was that same kind of hook play that they scored on in preseason. Breaking tackles, yards after the catch. 32
yards, King to Green.
He's going to have to throw it down. Oh, he's going to fake it.
In the touchdown. Riddell Anthony.
They went for the okey-doke. The old Dan Marino play. You see, Sean King got the ball, and he got down low like he was going to throw it. Popped up. What a play.
Faked the kill the clock and killed the Patriots. And that'll drive Belichick crazy. Sean King's first touchdown pass of the new season. 8 yards to Riddell Anthony.
I like that chance there, though. Take a shot and take it on a fade route.
Gramatica. Correct with the extra point. And the Buccaneers take the lead now 14-10 with 31 seconds left here in the first half.
Two pass plays, get close to the first down, and then you have the big tackle breaker, the yards after the catch. This is the play that Jaquez Green missed tackle right there, takes a chance. DB takes a chance.
Langham.
And this is Langham takes a chance. This is a nice run after the catch. Now watch Sean King on this play. He's got to sell that it's just a throwdown. Look at this. Look at the DBs.
Oh, they fell asleep.
They're just standing there. Actually, Kato Serwanga, he looked like he was ready, but not ready enough, evidently.
It was a nice throw anyway.
It was a great throw.
That was going to be a tough play even if you were playing on him.
He's standing up. He looked like he was there, but...
And look at the line gets into the act, too. They all just stand up to try and shield Sean King, and that's something that they talked about. He's difficult to see back there.
That's what Keyshawn Johnson talked about. A lot of times I have trouble seeing Sean King.
I don't know what they call that, but Riddell Anthony excited over his touchdown. Sean King in that last drive, 4 for 4 for 50 yards and the touchdown.
talked in the pregame show about Sean King having to answer some questions. Can he step up and make plays like that? That's a good way to answer.
Fault from 2 yards deep. Breaks a tackle. Now he's hit from the backside. Gets it up to the 25-yard line. A 27-yard return. Don Davis makes that play. And we are in Red Sox territory. And that means baseball is this week on Fox Saturday Baseball. A bitter rivalry. Need I say more? Yankees against the Red Sox. Visit the Fenway Park to take on Nomar Garcia-Pera. We'll have that Saturday on Baseball This Week. Action starts at 12:30 Eastern and Pacific. Check your local listings. And these are the wild card standings. And you got Detroit back there just 4 games out as well. That's going to be one that goes right down to the finish.
Carlton Fisk is here today for the game. We honored him.
Red Sox legend is Bledsoe with 20 seconds left. Goes down over the middle. And he connects with Troy Brown, and he'll take a timeout, the final timeout for the Patriots, as they're going to try and get some more points on the board.
We're talking about Carlton Fisk, and they're going to retire that number tomorrow. And I know guys like you're used to having numbers retired. You know what that feeling's like.
Yeah, old phone numbers, the way I move around. Carlton Fisk was out for the coin flip, and a huge celebrity here in the New England area, and rightly so. Charlie Weiss and Drew Bledsoe trying to put some more points on the board here with 16 seconds left. New England now out of timeouts. So they're going to have to do something fancy to stop the clock if they intend to get into field goal range.
Well, they're going to have to do what they've been accustomed to doing this whole first half, and that's throwing the football. That hasn't turned out to be too good for Drew Bledsoe.
That means Warren Sapp's coming after you. Bledsoe over the middle to Brown again, and Brown fights his way up to the 37, and Patriots hustle to the line. They're going to have to kill the clock. Maybe they'll try the same thing Tampa Bay did.
They got to try to get a field goal off. It's going to be a long one, too.
2 seconds left, downs it, and it's going to be a 55-yarder approximately for Adam Vinatieri,
and,
who has a career long of 55.
Yeah, he only tried 2 last year and made 1.
In 50-plus yards. A 51-yarder was his longest last year. Looks like they'll spot the ball right on the 45, making it a 55-yarder. The officials reset the play clock. And here we go, 55 yards from Adam Vinatieri, a cousin of Evel Knievel. It's a daredevil kick.
No.
And that is short and wide to the right, no good. And that is the final play of the first half. The Buccaneers, with that late score, take a 14-10 lead over the Patriots, and the defensive struggle we had anticipated came to light. The big thing in this game is the special teams that's kept New England in it.
That's all that's kept New England in it. And the problems that the Patriots have had, they still have those problems offensively and running the football.
That's the end of the first half. The score, the Buccaneers 14, Patriots 10. Welcome back to Foxborough Stadium. Tampa Bay 14-10 over New England here at halftime. Ray Bentley along with Ron Pitts. And Ron, let's look at those halftime stats. And the big thing that jumps out is the Buccaneers' total yards.
Well, yeah, they're being productive, and that's what they wanted to do, the whole thing about bringing in the new offensive coordinator. But what I like highlighted there also, first downs. Look at the difference in first downs. That's what they weren't getting done last year, moving the chains. A lot of that is Keyshawn Johnson being able to get open, get the first down. He had a couple nice plays there on the perimeter where he just got beyond the first down marker, and Sean King found him. I think Sean King is really having a good game. I really do. It may not show up in points, but it sure showed up in that last play in the end zone there, and he's looking around the field. He's spreading the ball out to a lot of different people. New England, offensively, they're not doing anything. They can't run the ball. One of the reasons they can't run the ball, their offensive line is a mess. They've had a lot of shifts back and forth, and it's starting to really kill them.
I tell you, the thing for New England is the special teams that haven't done very well. As you're seeing the quarterback comparison right now, and Drew Bledsoe, he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, and you can see the numbers there, but every time Bledsoe goes back, he has got to try to ward off a defender, most preferably Warren Sapp, and then find a receiver down the field. I think the
sun has come out here at Foxborough Stadium. Tampa Bay 14-10 over New England. Keyshawn Johnson. In different ways, the Bucs have been trying to get him the ball, get him involved. He is the leading receiver for Tampa Bay. 3 grabs, 58 yards. Allstott in the backfield, takes the handoff, beats Law's blitz. Allstott with a crease up the middle. He'll get a first down.
Going back to Keyshawn there, he hasn't had that explosive day yet. And part of that is, a large part of that is what the defense has been doing to him. They're not going to come in here in the opener and let Keyshawn Johnson run it. They've doubled him. They've doubled him not only with defensive backs, but they've doubled them with linebackers, as you see there. And then there was a block. He got called for the hold.
Now he comes in short motion, works across the middle of the field, but King can't find him as the pressure is on, and he'll scramble forward for a couple yards, brought down by Eaton.
Keyshawn made a real good point about Sean King last night. So when I first got up here and we started throwing routes, I realized that when I drag across the middle of the field, unlike Vinny Testaverde, I have to keep running because Sean is short. I can't see him. He gets hidden behind those linemen. And you could see the way there, Keyshawn kind of got stuck in the middle of the field. I don't know if he could see him.
I doubt if he could.
And I don't know if Sean could see Keyshawn.
King at 6 feet tall, behind a larger group of men. 2nd and 7, flag is out as Allstott.
I think
gets wrapped up in the backfield by Bobby Hamilton.
It looked like New England got across the neutral zone there. And that's not a knock on Sean King, but that is a fact, and Keyshawn brought it out.
That can be an advantage for him as well.
Offside defense, number 98. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Brandon Mitchell got into the neutral zone. This is a nice situation for an offense now. 2nd down and 2 or 3 yards, call it 2, and that gives you a chance to do a lot of different things.
And you also get the feeling here that Tampa Bay wants to lean on the Patriots defense. They come from that NFC Central smash mouth. They want to start to lay on their defensive linemen a little bit.
Allstott with the lean and the first down. Fights up past the 40 to the 42-yard line. Chris Slade along with Lawyer Malloy on the tackle.
That's an example right there, Ray. Just, you got some 300-plus pounders on this offensive line for Tampa Bay. And they just push people down the line there.
It's a nice job.
And you see Randall McDaniel getting out on Bruschi.
Pete Pearson, the left tackle, threw a nice block on that play. That was a question mark for the Buccaneers. They lost Jason Odom to IR as Warwick Dunn reports back to the game. King tries to air it out. Overthrows Jaquez Green. Warwick Dunn went out earlier in the 2nd quarter with a neck injury. This is back in the ballgame. That's good to see for Bucs fans.
Well, that's huge because Warwick Dunn is still that threat of a breakaway guy that the defense has to respect. And when you flare him to the outside, now you've got a matchup problem. And you better think about putting maybe your 3rd corner, which you probably won't have in the game in regular situations. And if you get him lined up on a linebacker, you've got a mismatch.
2nd down and 10. King from the gun. Throws it out. This one is batted away. Hamilton.
Take a look at Willie McGinnis here. See, that's how you negate a big-time player. First of all, you got to get your hands on him. That's something that guys don't do much anymore. Tight ends run free up the field.
It's hard to do to Keyshawn, but you need a guy like McGinnis if you're going to do that.
That's right. A bigger body works better on bigger bodies to get jammed. Plus the fact that maybe Keyshawn wasn't expecting the linebacker to walk out on him.
King faces the blitz with time. Throws it outside, and it is incomplete. Looking for Anthony. Thrown outside a little bit.
Yeah, I thought Sean had maybe a fraction of a second later to hold that ball. He saw the blitz. They brought it down the pipe with the safety. He knew where to go with the football. but I think he had a little bit more time than he thought. That's easy to say when we're sitting up here and you're not taking that shot after you throw the ball.
Troy Brown back to receive. He's already scored 1 touchdown on a punt return. This one is hung high. And that's important. A 38-yard kick. And New England will take over. They trail by 4. Next week, it's a Fox NFL Sunday doubleheader beginning with Terry, Howie, JB, and Chris on America's favorite pregame show. Then Cade McNown and the Bears take on the Buccaneers, followed by the Rams battle against the Seahawks, plus other regional matchups, all right here on Fox, starting at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, next Sunday. 1st and 10, Bledsoe to the air, chased down again, throws this one away, almost intercepted.
Quarles.
Shelton Quarles with the pressure, and it's a different Buccaneer, it seems. The consistent factor is Warren Sapp, but everyone else is getting into the act as well.
They are, and that's what good defenses do, and that's what the Bucs defense has to do, especially this year. Like a lot of good defenses, Bucs like to slide to one side and then blitz off that backside. Drew Bledsoe talked about it yesterday. He just got caught with it.
Ball. Number 6. That Patriot offensive line is something that was really uncertain. They had 7 guys with knee injuries at the start of training camp. Got some of them back, not others. But right now it's a patchwork mix, and they're really having troubles against this Buccaneers D-line.
And Bill Belichick has not been afraid to change it up. Now, that's been a good thing and a bad thing for protection purposes. But I believe him when he says we won't know until the 3rd week what we are, because it's looking like that right now.
3rd and 3, Bledsoe has to pull it back down, and now he gets hit as he dumps it incomplete. McFarland with the pressure this time.
And once again, make Drew Bledsoe have to hold the football. If you can get him off his rhythm, off his timing, watch the white shirts. You know, they talk about having 3 seconds to throw the football. That's no joke, folks. It's exactly 3 seconds, and that means that ball has to be gone. The Bucs defensive line is dominating. You can't say it any other way. I don't care who they have or don't have. They're just flat out getting it done.
Lee Johnson on to punt this one deep. Carl Williams back at his 35. High hanging kick from Johnson. Williams with the fair catch at his own 33-yard line. That's where Tampa Bay will be in business. A 40-yard punt, no return. Tampa Bay with a 4-point lead, 7:47 left. Ray Bentley and Ron Pitts alongside here at Foxborough Stadium. The opener. Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a 4-point lead, and they added Pro Bowl players to that offense in the offseason. Christie, the center, McDaniel, the left guard, and Keyshawn Johnson at wide receiver. And here's Warwick Dunn following McDaniel, trying to get outside, tripped up, no gain. Ty Law covers him up.
Patriots bringing up the 8-man, making that an 8-man front. That tells you it's all run, and we need to stop the run. Doing a nice job of bouncing Warwick Dunn outside. Like I say, the faster that Warwick Dunn can get inside, the faster he can hurt you. You keep all good running backs running sideways.
Ball got kicked. Jeff Trippett resets it. And the Bucs are ready to go on 2nd and 11. Allstott out in the slot. Draw play to Dunn. He works his way through a couple of yards up to the 35-yard line. Chris Slade in on that tackle. Trying to work that running game, the Buccaneers, behind that revamped offensive line. They have 90 yards rushing so far on the day. The leader is Allstott with 45. Third down and 8. Sean King 0 of 3 here in the second half. Throws it up into the corner. No good. Attempting to hit Green. Pressure coming from Lawyer Malloy on the blitz.
Yeah, Sean King took a shot. Jaquez Green questioning whether or not the right thing was run. Laurie Malloy just came free. He picked a lane and then got home. You know, Chris Collingsworth at halftime talked about the Bucs pulling away this half. Well, if they're going to make that pull, I think it's going to have to happen this quarter and real soon.
Royals punt to Brown, who's averaging over 50 yards a return. Not this time. He gets covered up and wrapped hard. Don Davis with the special teams hit, a 47-yard punt. 4-yard return that time for Brown. And this is how Tampa Bay wants to cover those kicks. The Minutemen taking a break over on the sideline as Bledsoe goes play action. He's chased again. More pressure on Drew Bledsoe, and this Bucs defense has just been dominant. Look at the passing by zone. Bledsoe hasn't been able to throw the ball downfield. You got one pass,
see right
15
here.
yards or longer.
And a lot of that is the pressure we talked about with Warren Sapp and Jones and Hanatu and all those guys getting to the quarterback. But another part of that are the linebackers doing a pretty good job in intermediate areas of covering people up along with the secondary.
And they shut down Terry Glenn so far today. He has 2 grabs for 9 yards so far. Reverse, Brown. See the speed of the Buccaneers defense. McFarland was out there and containing it, and White came in and made the tackle.
And that's what I meant by what I said earlier about they're going to have to come with something different, some kind of trickery to move the ball down the field. Now, defense has got a lot of speed. The first thing you try to do is redirect it. Get them to over-pursue. That's what this is about. It's not even close. Look at all the white shirts there. Speed kills. There is no substitute for it. And everybody is trying to get draft, free agency, whatever, get more speed on the field.
3rd and 13. Bledsoe steps up into the pocket, dumps it out to Falk. Falk is going to be hit by Abraham. Lynch has got it. And Lynch comes up with the turnover. And the Buccaneers will take over at the 23-yard line.
And there's another dividend that speed pays. Everybody gets around the football. It's one thing to have the speed. It's another thing to have guys that can come up and make hits. And this team is very ball conscious. You notice that. Always stripping for the football, always looking for it.
Well, here's Abraham. He comes up and makes the hit.
The jar is right there. That looked like Brooks.
Derek Brooks.
Coming from the other side of the field, putting a hat on somebody. And watch Brooks right there.
Oh, he just knocked it loose.
That ball's out.
Big turnover for the Buccaneers. Can they cash in? Green in motion, play action. King nowhere to throw it. Breaks a tackle. Now he's got some room. Stumbles his way up inside the 15.
You know, Sean King is a good athlete, a great athlete. Now, he's not known as a runner, but he can get out of the pocket. He can avoid, like he did there, and buy some time and make something out of nothing. If this is the point we talked about earlier. The Bucs are going to break away in this quarter, in this half. This is the time to do it. The turnover, deep in their territory, this is where you have to take advantage of it.
The scramble good enough for a first down, 1st and 10 from the 15 of New England. Patriots show blitz, and they come. All stop. Cuts back. He fumbles the football. It looks like New England's got it. We'll have to
looks like Tampa Bay's got it. They're talking.
Well, I don't know. Both teams are pointing. You know how that goes. A lot of lobbying.
Tampa Bay's got it. That's huge. That may have saved the day for the Bucs.
Looks like Chris Slade is the man who knocked the ball loose.
You know, it's only 14-10. You wonder why we can say that, but it's a momentum thing.
Here's Slade coming around from the back, gets the arm on the football and rips it out.
On the ball. Yep. Allstott had made the nice cut, the cuts we've seen him make so many times before.
Big break for the Bucs to fall on that loose football. 2nd down and 6. King with that half roll throws it out to Keyshawn. Johnson with the catch and the first down. Ty Law wings him out of bounds.
You know, we talked about Keyshawn not having big numbers today and all that. And, you know, he's going to have games where he doesn't have big numbers. But what he's going to have, and the reason he's here, is he's going to make big plays when you need it. The little things that may not show up in the box, in the box score at the end of the game. It's just a little out like that, but all it does is keep you in possession, moves you closer to the goal line. Now it sets you up to do Mike Allstott.
Johnson is the leading receiver today for Tampa Bay. 4 grabs, 64 yards. First and goal on the 3. McDaniel in the backfield at fullback. Allstott follows his block, busts it outside. Touchdown, Tampa Bay.
Isn't it amazing? You know who's going to get the ball down there, and they still don't stop it.
And that's
called execution.
Allstott's ability to run to any hole regardless of where he lines up. I mean, he's got that vision.
Yeah, he's got the vision like a halfback to bounce. Watch here. When he gets the ball, he's already looking outside. Now he can run lateral and maintain his speed. A lot of guys are dead. A lot of good halfbacks are dead when they go lateral. He can do that. And, of course, it helps. They have great blocking on that side.
And the good block on the outside.
And the wide receiver
blocking. Keyshawn Johnson blocking Ty Law.
That right there is worth $50 million.
Give or take. Gramatica splits the uprights for the extra point, and Tampa Bay now extends their lead to 11, 21-10.
See, Keyshawn doesn't have to catch the ball to pay big dividends for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Last year, 2 years ago, you may not have been able to have a receiver block well enough to make that play.
Sitting on the dock of the bay.
Buccaneers extend their lead to 11, 21-10. 4-play drive. Allstott caps it off. The Bucs 3 for 3 with touchdowns in the red zone. Drastically improved as Allstott scores his second touchdown. The big thing that set it up, though, was the fumble recovered by Lynch, forced by Derek Brooks.
And another thing that set it up is Keyshawn Johnson making 2 plays. It may not seem big, but they moved you a little closer, and then a nice block in the end zone to help Allstott get in.
Falk on the return. Changes direction and now gets bottled up at the 24-yard line. Yeah, coming up this fall, a new series. Emmy Award winner David E. Kelly, the creator of The Practice, and Ally McBeal, brings you his newest series, Boston Public, coming right at you this fall on Fox. And that should be a big hit around here, if only for the name.
A reason to watch. He'll like it.
Yeah, it looked like he liked about anything. I don't know what that pain is all about, but that can't be good for the skin.
I'm not so sure that's the most important thing on his mind right now. I think that 21-10 score.
Not a big skin guy. So the Patriots need to dig out of this hole here late in the third quarter. Bledsoe to the air, pumps, throws it, almost picked off. Rondé Barber had great coverage on Terry Glenn.
Yeah, that brings up another interesting question for Patriots fans. Where are your weapons on offense? You know, if you can get Terry Glenn out of the game, and that hasn't proven to be too hard here today, who else have they got to go to that can hurt you? There really isn't anybody.
Well,
and if you're not running the football, you know, you're putting a lot of pressure on one man, and that's Drew Bledsoe.
And Troy Brown has showed some flashes, mostly on special teams, but he's the leading receiver with 3 grabs as Bledsoe has to scramble. The pressure was on again, and now he's brought down by Quarles. But Bledsoe can't even set to get the ball downfield.
Let's count the seconds. As a quarterback, you're supposed to have 3 seconds. Let's count and see what it is. 1001, 1002, gigs up.
Warren Sapp's in your face.
You know, people like to blame things on Bledsoe. He's not this. He doesn't have. He's not the guy in the stretch in big games and a baloney, man. He doesn't have a supporting cast. Maybe in the past he had a little, especially in the Super Bowl year, but he doesn't now.
3rd and 2. Inside, first down. Lynch makes a big hit, but Falk carries him. Actually, Carter carries him for the first down.
You know what? That's one of Ronnie Lott's woo-licks right there. And John Lynch can give it to you. John Lynch, he's one of those big guys that can get low and drive through. He didn't avoid the first down, but I tell you what, Tony Carter's going to know what hit him the last time.
He'll remember that one. Versus fumble by Bledsoe. He gets on it. Take a loss of 3.
And this is where New England is in the mode, the pass mode now. Usually teams that can run the ball and have balance get into that mode when they're down 21-10, but they've been in this mode from the first play. And it's kind of all been disguised and overshadowed by the great special teams help they've had, but now that's done with.
Bledsoe to the air again. Throws it inside, caught incomplete by Troy Brown. Right now, let's head to the Fox Network Center in Los Angeles. Here's JB.
All right, Ray, take a look at Cade McNown, a guy you heard Terry talk an awful lot about during the pregame show. A laser pass, this one to Marcus Robinson. Pinpoint play, 48-yard touchdown strike. It is now 20-16 Chicago. Back to Ray and Ron.
First of all, I love the black shoes, JB. I know you do too, but that was all Marcus Robinson. That guy is a stud.
3rd and 5, corner blitz from Barber. Gets there late, it's knocked away.
Holding.
Bjornsson couldn't hang on to it. There is a flag in the backfield, holding against New England, and that'll be declined.
And you know, another thing that makes life harder on Drew Bledsoe is they don't have a dominant tight end on this roster.
Holding 76, offense. Penalties decline, 4th down.
And when you don't have that tight end, you take away his middle of the field option, which is often an easier throw, takes pressure off the perimeter. All the great quarterbacks, the Super Bowl quarterbacks, if you look, most of them have had good tight ends or dependable tight ends they can go to.
Pressure on Johnson's punt. Gathered up by Williams, tackled immediately by Serwanga. Bucs will take over on the 17-yard line, a 43-yard punt. You talked about the tight ends, and that really has been a void for the last couple of years as Ben Coates kind of declined.
Yeah.
And then now he's gone, and Bjornsson and Rutledge try to come in. And this is career season averages for the tight ends that are in this mix that we're talking about.
Your tight end will penetrate the middle of the field. They will make defenses stay back. They'll make safety stay back and not come up in 8-man fronts. They'll make linebackers respect the middle of the field. If you don't have that, they're not going to stay back, and they're going to come up and get in your quarterback's face, and that's what's happened.
Patriots tight ends, 1 catch for 4 yards today. That was by Rutledge. 1st and 10, King dumps it outside to Dunn. Work done with a little bit of room, and then it closes quickly as Katzenmoyer gets over there from his linebacker spot.
Sean King still goes with that wristband. He has all the plays on there. Got 25-some plays. And I said, what happens if you take a shot and your eyes are a little cross-eyed and things are a little fuzzy? He said, I'll stay down until they clear up.
And you got to. Well, that brings us to the end of the 3rd quarter. The score, the Buccaneers 21, the Patriots 10. Tampa Bay took that lead by recovering this fumble. John Lynch did it. Mike Allstott caps it off with his 2nd touchdown. Tampa by 11. Score by quarters. Tampa Bay with the lone touchdown in the 2nd half had really been dominant. Special teams kept New England in it early in the ball game. 2nd down, Warwick Dunn with room outside. He picks up the 1st and a couple more. Katzenmoyer along with Brewski make the stop. Give Dunn 10 yards on the play. He's now got 11 carries for 39 yards.
You might not have caught it in that play, but you talk about getting more yards inside and outside for Warwick Dunn. Jeff Christie, the center, does something that a good veteran center can do. Watch him right here. He's going to get a shot on the nose tackle, but watch, he'll go out and just get enough of the linebacker. That takes a couple yards away from his scrape to the outside. Little things like that. That's why you bring in certain guys that can do certain things.
I hated that when centers did that, too.
Yeah. What's even better is to watch it on film on Monday morning. Yeah. Coach runs it back. You got to be quicker than this.
Oh, and your defensive line's got to keep those guys off you.
That's another point.
Let's take a look at the statistics after 3 quarters of play, and it's all leaning heavily to the left of your screen.
And I really think that one thing we've heard over and over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coaching staff is physical football. They really came into this game thinking they were more physical, and they've shown it. you got to remember, this team went to the NFC Championship game. They didn't get there on a fluke. They earned that. That's what's a part of it.
Dunn, nowhere to go. Squirts his way up for a couple yards. It'll bring up a 3rd and 3 now for the Buccaneers, who have been very good so far today on 3rd downs. 6 of 12, 50%. You'd take that.
And Tony Dungy had 3 keys coming into the game. I want to be efficient and persistent on offense. They've done that. They never got away from the run, the things that they do well. And they said he wanted to pressure Bledsoe. Well, by all means, they've done that.
3 receivers to the top. Keyshawn Johnson out the widest. Sean King changing the play. King, his pass is batted up. He was trying to get it to Keyshawn. Looked like Chad Eaton might have gotten a hand on that.
You can see here from Sean King's vantage point, you know, that's where, once again, not to knock Sean, but that's where those taller quarterbacks have a little bit of an advantage. Be able to sidestep a little bit or make that throw over an outstretched hand.
Yeah, and give Eaton credit. I think he's played a pretty decent game.
He sure has.
Royals shanks this one off the side of the foot, goes out of bounds at the 34-yard line. Patriots will have decent field position. Give them a 33-yard punt. And New England takes over, trailing by 11 here in the 4th. Beautiful. New England is the Buccaneers with an 11-point lead. 12:44 left. And you got to feel that New England's beginning to run out of time. They've got to show some spark on offense. Bledsoe sends Bjornsson in motion. Fakes the toss, comes back, and he'll be sacked again. I mean, he doesn't have a chance. It's a jailbreak. Quarles is in there. He's the first man to get a piece of it.
Quarles does a nice job of looping around on this stunt here. First down call. He's going to be right here. He's going to end up coming around the backside. But it all starts with the confusion that Warren Sapp brings. Everybody goes that way. He can come in the back door, essentially.
Another
just
big
as I
play,
mentioned,
Warren Sapp. They can't block him.
All right, now help me say this so Warren doesn't beat me up when we see him in 2 weeks.
I'll help you with it. I know where you're going.
All those guys with, well, I'll tell you what, I'll save it. We'll do the replay first. Warren just can't be blocked. Simple as that.
And we're talking about his body.
His body. We'll get to that in a minute.
He's kind of an ectomorph. It's a nice way of putting it, as Bledsoe is chased out of bounds by Steve White.
Well, wait a minute. Now, we played, okay? And this is what we call guys like this in the locker room. They're bad body guys. Okay, plain and simple. Jerry Ball was a bad body guy. The Fridge was a bad body guy. Who else is a bad body guy? Gilbert Brown.
I think Reggie White's a little round. You just have round edges. I mean, you look at Sapp, and there's no straight lines on him.
But the point is that all those guys are usually hard to block. They're powerful. They got a different center of gravity, and you can't block them very well.
They do that stunt. Fair catch made by Carl Williams on the Lee Johnson punt. 39 yards on the kick, and the bad body Bucks up 21-10 over New England. Red Sox fans in the house as this week's on Fox Saturday Baseball. The classic bitter rivalry is renewed. Derek Jeter and the Yanks visit Fenway to take on Nomar Garciaparra and the Red Sox. It'll be this week Saturday's game starting at 12:30 Eastern and Pacific. And there's a heated battle going on in that wild card race in baseball. 9-yard gain for Warrick Dunn. There's those wild card standings. Big game tonight, the Mariners and the Red Sox. And I know Detroit, the Tigers are in that mix because my son follows them avidly, and I think they're 4 games out in this wild card deal.
And if he follows, you follow.
You got to. You got to be able to talk to him.
Being that you're the coach now.
Yes, exactly. 2nd and 1. Warrick Dunn. And he's met in the backfield. Nice play coming in by Brandon Mitchell. And right now, let's go to our Los Angeles studios. JB.
Ray and Ron, what would this sight look like? Take a look at Culpepper. He decides to keep it, take it in. Talk about a big tight end or linebacker coming at you. His second keeper of the day, 23-20 Vikings over the Bears in the fourth. Back to Ray and Ron.
JV's got that right. That is a big sight.
And I tell you, that Central Division, there's some players in that. That's going to be one that comes down to the wire.
Dante Culpepper's all 266 too.
3rd and 2. All-stop behind McDaniel, and he is beat up by Slade with the penetration and Malloy with the blitz.
I got to be honest, I don't understand those last 2 plays called. 2nd and 1, that would be a case where I wouldn't run Warwick Dunn inside. I think I would give that to All-stop. And this one here, a little further out, I think everybody knows where it's coming now.
Yeah, they've showed it several times. New England said, we know what you're going to do. It's time to really counter off of that. So the Patriots defense stiffens, forces the punt. Royals on to kick it back to Troy Brown. Brown been the one highlight for the Patriots today. And he'll have to fair catch this one right at the 20-yard line. 42-yard kick, no return. And the Patriots will try to get back into it. They trail by 11. Ray Bentley along with Ron Pitts here at Foxborough. Drew Bledsoe has been harried and harassed the entire ball game, trying to get something going with 9:25 left. Trails by 11. He goes right to the shotgun on 1st and 10. And he'll be swarmed under again. Now he dumps it out to Falk. Kevin Falk up near the first down. Singleton makes the tackle.
Let me tell you, this guy here has been harassed so much. If I were him, I'd go get a lawyer.
This is all just in the second half. I mean, you could get arrested for some of the things they're doing to Drew Bledsoe.
And you know, it's not just Sapp. It's been Jones. It's Ahanotu there.
Yeah, he's been sacked 5 times, 4 in the first half. As the flag comes out on this completed pass out to Terry Glenn. Bledsoe has been under duress the entire afternoon. Holding against the Buccaneers defense. And one of the problems with Bledsoe, Ronnie, is that he's not the most mobile guy. He has trouble escaping some of that pressure, and that's when you wonder if maybe bringing a Michael Bishop in to contend with that might not be a bad idea. So we get the call from Mr. Triplett.
Illegal hands in the face. Defense, number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Brian Kelly guilty, but Bishop was designated as the 3rd quarterback coming into today's game. So now that it's the 4th quarter, he can come in and come back out, and other players can play under the rules.
Right. If he would come in before the 4th quarter,
he'd have to finish.
That was not an injury situation. It would be his game the rest of the way. So they could experiment here if they wanted to.
Buccaneers blitz, draws movement along the New England line.
You know, Ray, I got to go back to something. You know, I've heard that so much about what Bledsoe is or isn't, and I'll wait till the official finishes here.
Prior to the snap, both start. 86 offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
And you know, I don't know if, as we look at the second half possessions here, not good, obviously. I don't know if I buy all that. Like I said, I think it's more things around him. The lack of run game, the switching in the offensive line. You know, you could bring Troy Aikman or Brett Favre up in here. They're not going to get their feet set either.
No tight end.
No tight end. He's got no safety valve down the middle of the field.
Gets this one out in time to Brown. Brown hit immediately by Lynch.
I'll tell you right now, if the Patriots have anything, it's Drew Bledsoe.
Pressure again on that one. Marcus Jones. You look at Bledsoe, and he's been carrying this club. And without a 1,000-yard rusher, I mean, all the pressure goes on him. It's a much more difficult deal. As the blitz comes again, Bledsoe unloads, and this one is complete out to Tony Simmons.
And you know, there's an example there. Look at the shot he just took there. And now that ain't the first shot. He's taken shots like that all last year, the year before. You know, next to Brett Favre, this is the most durable guy, I think, in the NFL as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, we asked him about that. How does he stay durable? He said he walks 18 every other day. This is to stay in shape. But he's a big guy, and he takes care of his body. Dumps it over the middle to Falk, and Falk is hit and swarmed up immediately by Derek Brooks.
And the thing of that graphic showed is that he's got no run game. You know, when Curtis Martin was here and they were running the football and they were in the Super Bowl, nobody complained about Bledsoe. He wasn't a problem there. But I'm telling you, if you don't give the guy some kind of run support and stuff like that.
Boy, the blitz is just wide open again. Rondé Barber. And Barber's been in that backfield 3 or 4 times today. Has a sack. He had the first sack of the game. Here he comes again.
Let me tell you, when you start bringing cornerbacks right down the pipe, that is like saying I've got no respect for your offensive line. Because I've been there, and you take a couple shots to the chops, and the defensive coordinator stops sitting in there when he sees one eye looking west and the other eye looking north. But Rondé Barber has made a steady diet of getting in the backfield.
So with that incomplete, 3rd down and 7. Patriots 4 of 14 on 3rd down conversions. Here comes the blitz again. Bledsoe with the heat again. He'll have to run, and now he's going to be swarmed under. McFarland was the first man there. Add a Hanatu to the pile along with Quarles.
I mean, here's a guy that last year gave all his offensive linemen a free round-trip ticket to fly anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
I don't know what he was thinking on that one. I would have kept those miles.
Watch his eyes get big as this rush comes. I mean, he had that grit, steely kind of look, and then all of a sudden, uh-oh, it broke down, and then they got wide, and then he gets punished.
That's the stuff that goes on in Little League football, where everybody turns around and watches, and the guy just gets machine gunned.
Punt to Williams. Williams swarmed under at the 12-yard line. Nice special teams play by Tony George. A 1-yard return. And Tampa Bay takes over, leading by 11. Tampa Bay with the football and the lead. 6:07 left in the contest. Buccaneers backed up at their own 14. And we talked to Tony Dungy yesterday. He said, you know, I'm going to run all stot in the first half. Excuse me, done in the first half, all stot in the second half. And he's done the opposite. He's got Dunn back there right now. Early start.
But you know, Ray, the reason he did the opposite is because
prior to the snap, false start, 71 up in, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Big Jerry Wunsch pushes him back. The reason he did that is because things were tight in the beginning of the game. The Patriots were getting all those special teams plays. This place was rocking. And when things get tight, you go back to what you know. And they know what they can get with Mike Allstott, excuse me.
Allstott flanked out. Warwick Dunn stands on his own goal line. Blitz comes. Ted Johnson shoots through. Ted Bruschi. Bruschi makes the tackle, gain to the 10-yard line. Well.
Hey, don't be afraid of success. That's it, it's right here.
Brad Culpepper and the Bucs defense had plenty of success last season, finishing as the NFC's top-rated defense. But next week, he'll line up across from his old mates as a member of the Chicago Bears. It's all part of a Fox Sports doubleheader weekend. Begins next Sunday with the pregame at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, right here on Fox. And that'll be a great matchup. Culpepper going against his old boys. 2nd and 13, and King slides up for a short gain. And, you know, Warren Sapp and Brad Culpepper were very close.
Yeah.
I mean, they were very tight, played together for all 6 years. And it's interesting, they've only talked once since Culpepper got released.
Yeah, you know, Warren admitted, I went into that militant mode after the release of Culpepper. He said, hey, here's a guy that taught me how to run stunts. It taught me how good games can be down there. And for 5 years, we did a lot of damage. So he had to kind of redirect his thoughts and get back on playing football.
3rd down and 9. Bucs spread it out. King dumps it underneath. Complete. Close to the first down. Carl Williams with the catch. He looks like he's going to be a yard short, and the Bucs will have to punt it away.
Yeah, that's actually a very key series there for Tampa Bay in the regard that you're backed up. You make a mistake here, give up 6 points, 7 points. Now you're looking at 21-17 ball game. It's a whole different deal.
Well, they still have to worry about Troy Brown returning a punt. He's already brought one to the house as the Patriots use up a timeout, their first timeout of the second half.
You know, Sean King really impressed me today. And they're getting into a little discussion over there, look like.
there with Keyshawn.
Yeah, well, you know, the whole thing was, okay, we've got Keyshawn Johnson. We've got some help up front in the offensive line. Yeah, we lost some stuff in defense, but we're so good there, we're going to be all right. They proved that today. Can Sean take us to the next level? Because you know what? It's different when you're the guy. See, everybody in the league that they're going to play has had a full offseason to study Sean King. Last year he came in, people kind of picking their way through, and until he got down to that NFC Championship game where I thought he played pretty well, people didn't game plan you per se like they're going to game plan him this year. They're going to hunt and pick for every weakness he has and exploit it, or try to exploit it. And I think he handled himself pretty well today against a head coach who's supposed to be a defensive genius.
Yeah, and I think a good defense is Tampa Bay takes a timeout of problems in the special team alignment. They didn't have enough men out there as Carl Williams now trots onto the field.
Boy, the special teams have they've let them down this week. And you can see Tony and Joe Marciano, the special teams coach. Marciano right there. You know, you have those days, man. And they say when you go on the road in the NFL, you pack two things, defense and special teams. Thank goodness they packed a couple extra underwear for the defense.
They did. And I think they packed a good, balanced offense, which is what Les Steffel talked about wanting to have. You know, they have 304 total yards, 137 rushing, 167 passing, and they've actually run the ball 36 times, only 24 passes. And if they can do that and lead by 11, you take that any day.
Right.
Brown breaks one tackle, breaks another, and gets it up to the 40-yard line where New England will have decent field position.
Brown has a great feel for returning punts.
49-yard kick, 11-yard return, and yeah, he's outstanding.
Just like Desmond Howard has that feel. Can't do it as a wide receiver, but for some reason, he can do it in that phase of the game.
Well, they're building a new stadium here. They should be ready in 2002. The CMGI Field, which is going to seat 68,000. It's privately financed by Robert Kraft. It's going to cost $325,000. And this is going to be, again, another one of those nice new stadiums that are popping up all over the place here in the NFL. See the animation, and there's the work right now. You can see there's a lot of work left to be done.
They showed a lot of houses there in the background. I don't see those yet either.
Yeah.
I guess that's on the way.
They'll be springing up once that thing is done. First and 10 from the 40. 5 receivers in the mix for Bledsoe. Rolls out, half roll, hooks up with Brown, and Brown will get 6 yards before Shelton Quarles gets him. But you haven't seen Bledsoe throw it downfield.
Well, first of all, he doesn't have the time to throw it downfield. Next thing is, the Buccaneers defense is set up to play you short. Okay, they got 2 deep. They're going to have these 2 safeties right back here. They're splitting the field in half, and they're going to put 5 underneath. They're going to make it hard to get balls down there because they're going to jam receivers at the line of scrimmage and play physical there.
Great catch by Eric Bjornsson. His first grab of the day, good for 13. Second grab by tight ends. Clock moves, as does the chains. Bledsoe over the middle again to Bjornsson.
Isn't it amazing? And we got to be honest here. Tampa Bay is feathering off. They're giving up a little bit.
They're not going to give the deep ball right now.
Still, that tight end is a guy you have to have in your offensive arsenal.
Here comes Barber on that blitz, and he brings it. And he's untouched again. Hits Bledsoe. Deep shot. Lays it up. This will be caught. Touchdown, Terry Glenn. And with 3:01 left, you have to wonder if Bill Belichick isn't going to go for 2 here. Trailing by 5. You get the 2-point conversion, a field goal would tie it. And they're gonna, and Michael Bishop comes into the ball game. to try and execute the two-point conversion, and he's had success in the goal line running the option.
That's what I said a couple series ago, Ray. This thing is not over. One quick score, you're looking at a two-point situation here. And in preseason, he's shown either the dive play or he's run the option.
I say we'll look for bootleg.
Oh, 90 flip, and he messed it up.
And Warren Sapp comes up with the ball, and you're right. It was a
I don't know if I run that
misdirection flip play, and I don't know that you run it either.
The play that's been successful for you in training camp and preseason has been some form of that option. The full house, whether it's the load or the speed, they go with something totally different, but you got to give the credit to Warren Sapp for playing his responsibility. Not many guys can be in that 100-mile-an-hour mode all the time and then be good enough to be disciplined and play their responsibility.
Yeah, and that's why Falk dropped that pitch, because Warren Sapp was looking at him. Let's go back to the touchdown. The blitz by Barber hits Bledsoe as he lets it go, but he hung in there.
Right, that's the Bledsoe we're talking about. He hangs in, and now this isn't the 2D. This is blitz. It's man-to-man coverage, and I don't know what Donnie Abraham is thinking. You know, you got to know that they need a big play. He feathers off. He's got to protect his inside. He didn't believe that Terry Glenn was going to take him downtown. And he didn't just take him window shopping either.
I tell you got to take your hat off to Drew Bledsoe. He stood in there. He's taken a pounding, but he's hung in, and now he throws a touchdown pass with 3:01 left to put the Patriots right back in this thing.
And you know, we talked about, well, do you bring Michael Bishop in even before that two-point situation to get something going? I don't know if you do that. You don't want to send that kind of message to the team, to the fans. People in this area have seen that before. This is the opening day. You got to give them something, not only your players, but everybody else to hang their hat on for the rest of the season.
So with 3:01 left, New England with 2 timeouts. The expectation is that they kick the ball deep, try to stop the Bucs on downs, use those timeouts, and conserve enough time as possible, because they now need a touchdown to pull this game out.
Well, they got a little conservative on that last series, but I understand that conservative because they were backed up in their own territory. Now they're expecting an onside kick.
And I think that
you don't know where this is going to go. This still could go backside.
And it burns a timeout from Tampa because they weren't ready for that onside maneuver. And I don't think New England was intending on kicking it.
I don't think they were either.
I just think they were pulling the Buccaneers' chain.
You know what? It's a good timeout anyway, either way, because Tampa Bay was so messed up that even if they kicked away, I don't think they would have been in position to do any blocking.
And that's really why you line up like that, because you're going to force them to run around and readjust. And then if you do end up kicking it deep, their return is in a shambles.
Yeah.
So they're going to fake it again. You hear him talking. Brad Seeley said, hey, line up like it's onside, and then we'll pull back out. 1 out of 5 onside kicks are converted in the NFL, at least were last year. See how Tampa Bay reacts now. They bring him up again.
And, you know, the Patriots are going to have 2 timeouts to use against the Bucs if, assuming they don't onside kick and get the ball.
Well, you talked about your chess match. After all that, Vinatieri kicks it deep.
Now that's the best coverage right there. Just kick the ball into the end zone.
Carl Williams downs it in the end zone, and the Buccaneers will start at their own 20 from the touchback. And all those chess pieces flying over the board. No checkmate there.
You know, it's funny. What it comes down to is what it started off as. Les Steckel's offense and Bill Belichick's defense. And the defense has got to get them off the field.
You know, you think Tampa Bay shut it down too early? You think they tried to get in that run mode, thinking they controlled this game?
Yeah, but why wouldn't you do that? They've had success running a little bit, and you're backed up in your own territory. You know, this is where they got to go back into the playbook a little and go down the field.
Well, they start with McDaniel in the backfield. Look for play action. And they run all stop. And he'll pick up 3 yards, and a cloud of dust.
And you know,
New England takes that second timeout. They have one left.
And there's the thinking right there also. Force them to burn all their timeouts if they can do it. And remember, you have the #1 defense. Defense has been playing great. You're going to punt that ball and say, okay, we're going to make you go 70, 60, and if you can do it, then you deserve to win the game. You're not going to make a mistake and give it away.
Yeah, and I think Tampa Bay is playing to their strengths right now. We're a strong running team. We're going to run it down your throat. Right. We're going to make you use your timeouts. We're going to eat the clock up. Right. And if we don't get our first down, we're going to kick it to you, and we're going to play defense.
That's exactly what they're going to do. That's Tony Dungy as a defensive coordinator. That's Tony Dungy as a head coach. That's his thinking. And I think that's pretty good thinking.
And the key, I guess, for New England is to make this stop, to make the Bucs wilt under this pressure.
And that's why you got that guy right there. All 300 pounds of him in the backfield.
2nd and 6.
Oh, they messed that up.
To Allstott, and he's caught in the backfield by Brandon Mitchell.
I got to tell you.
Another timeout is what they need right now, and they take it. The final timeout. Clock stops with 2:39 left, and it's 3rd and long.
Randall McDaniel just decleated somebody. I couldn't see who it was from here.
But there was a mix-up, and
they had
Allstott didn't get the ball quick enough.
Play's going to come this way. Watch Randall McDaniel. How high is the water, Mama?
That's Teddy Johnson he got.
Wow.
Johnson missed most of training camp with a hamstring. He's going to have a sore back after that one.
In fairness to Teddy, I think he kind of got caught coming off another block, but still. Now you got a huge 3rd down here, and you've taken all the timeouts away from New England.
Yeah, and so what'll happen is if New England stops Tampa Bay,
what's going on here? There's a problem.
The Buccaneers will let it run down to the 2-minute warning.
One of the coaches there is trying to get Randall McDaniel off the field. Well, Keyshawn is going nuts. They got a problem. They got a screw up here.
And Tampa Bay has to use a timeout. And now there are no timeouts left for anybody.
They miscommunicated. They were trying to get Randall McDaniel off the field. One of the assistant coaches ripped off his headset and went running out to the numbers. And they end up having to burn a timeout. So they've got no timeouts. Wow.
So pandemonium reigns here with 2:39 left.
It makes you wonder, were they going to maybe think about a quick kick or something? I don't know what could have been.
See,
for Randall to come out, why would they be trying to get Randall off the field?
I think the Buccaneers, I think they're going to play it safe and run it. I wouldn't mind a play action in this situation, something safe. You have Keyshawn down here all alone, one-on-one with Ty Law. Make him earn his money. Here it is, bootleg. Slade read it. McGinnis read it, excuse me. Sacked by Willie McGinnis. Huge play for the Patriots.
We said in the open, Ray, Bill Belichick had 2 guys that he needed to step up and play to win this game. One of them was Willie McGinnis. Moves him around, does a lot of things for him, with him. And you remember earlier, he got fooled on that handoff to Allstott. He thought King was going to keep the ball. That gamble right there paid off. I bet you all week long, Bill Belichick has told him, forget about the run, you take him on the boot. And that play paid off.
And the Bucs are going to let the clock run down to the 2-minute warning. And the New England Patriots will have good field position, trailing by 5. Don't go away, a good finish coming up. Troy Brown has scored 1 touchdown on a punt return, a 66-yarder already as Mark Royals will kick it away to him. Patriots going to get the football back with 2 minutes left. No timeouts, trailing by 5.
And you know what's funny, Ray, is a lot of people in this stadium left toward the middle of that 4th quarter. Some empty seats here, but people that stayed, they're going to get a show.
High-hanging kick.
Not a good punt.
Fair catch at the 45-yard line of the Buccaneers, and that's where New England will be in business. And what they need is a touchdown here. They have 1:53, no timeouts. That's plenty of time to get done what you need to get done.
All right, now the big play they hit of the touchdown, of course, was a deep one to Glenn. What got him down the field, though, were the throws to the tight end. Bjornsson had 2 big catches.
Bledsoe operating from the shotgun.
Tampa Bay staying in that cover 2 look. 2 defenders deep.
Dumps it underneath.
Wow, he caught that ball.
By Terry Glenn, what a grab.
Terry Glenn been pretty quiet with the exception of that last touchdown. They're getting the ball to him.
That's Glenn's 4th catch of the day, 56 yards and the touchdown. 2nd and 2 as the clock runs. Bledsoe underneath the fault. And be very close to a first down as Brooks comes up and makes that play.
Wow, no, they gave it to him.
First down,
that's a first down.
Bledsoe in the hurry-up mode. Takes a snap, pressure on.
They got him.
And they sacked him.
Got him.
Warren sacked.
Got him.
Along
They'll
with
mark the ball.
Marcus Jones.
Start the clock. Around the outside. Look at the hands there by Marcus Jones. And then he comes all the way around the horn. That's great effort.
2nd and 11. Bledsoe. 4-man rush. Dumps it off underneath the fall.
He's got to think out of bounds.
He'd like to get out of bounds, but he doesn't. Big hit from Brooks and Abraham.
In that case there, you don't give up the yards to try to go all the way and get out of bounds.
But it's 3rd down now and 2. Bledsoe dumps it outside the Falk. He wants the first down.
He didn't get the first down.
But he goes out of bounds. So now it's 4th and 1.
That right there is a rookie mistake.
Yeah, I think he tried for the first down.
No, he knew he was supposed to get out of bounds. But when you're that close to the marker, I don't know if he was aware of the down and distance.
Yeah, I think you try to do both at that point.
Yeah, he can do both. Perfect call, perfect play. It's there, head right for the pylon, for the marker.
Run Abraham right over, and you get that first down, and you get out of bounds. Now it's 4th and 1. New England must convert to keep this alive.
He's going to...
Bledsoe rolls to the right. It's complete.
Wow.
Troy Brown.
Wow.
Chains move. The clock's moving. Down to 20 seconds left. He'll clock the ball.
He's signaling throw down. He's just going to clock it now.
And that's what he does. 14 seconds left. Patriots sit at the 22-yard line. They need a touchdown.
They need a touchdown. This ball has got to go in the end zone. And this is the area where, okay, the chess match stuff is over. We played too deep conservative. Look for Monty Kiffin to throw a blitz in here somewhere.
Well,
he's had too much success with the blitz throughout the day.
I think if you're New England, you have to throw it into the end zone now.
And now you got to look at Terry Glenn maybe one more time, or your tight end.
Bledsoe on the roll. Throwing backside. He's got a man wide open. Incomplete. He was looking for Callaway. Callaway was open momentarily, and then it closed.
Let me tell you what. There's not too many quarterbacks that ever played this game that can make a throw like that. This is Callaway, the guy that's been in the league for a million years. Played with the Giants. He's trying to go backside. Boy, that's a heck of a long throw. Too long.
Yeah, but this is a nice close by Brian Kelly. Get there and knock that away. 3rd down and 10. 7 seconds left. Could be the last play. Brown in motion. Bledsoe hit as he lets it go. Incomplete. 1 second left.
Wow.
Tyoka Jackson with that pressure. And it's 4th down. There's 1 second left. This is it.
And Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator for the Bucs, has chosen to stay back, play those soft zones here, put the pressure on the quarterback to find somebody.
And I think it's because he knows he can get pressure with that front four.
He knows he can get the pressure, right.
So it all comes down to this play. Bledsoe will take it out of the shotgun.
Got to get hits on those receivers inside.
Pump fake into the end zone.
Nope. Game over.
Incomplete. Game over. And Tampa Bay hangs on. They win a 21-16 thriller over the New England Patriots. Tony Dungy's son very happy down there with him. And you know the adrenaline is pumping.
That's a big
the Tampa
win
Bay
for the Buccaneers. In the opener, away from home, you come off an NFC Championship game appearance. Huge win.
Tampa Bay 21, New England 16, your final. We'll be back with more from Foxborough in just a moment. Welcome back to Foxborough. Ray Bentley and Ron Pitts wiping the sweat off of our brow. That exciting finish. Tampa Bay over New England 21-16. And we are bringing you now the play of the day, brought to you by Dr. Pepper. You can vote for your favorite Dr. Pepper play of the day and enter the Dr. Pepper Big Game Day sweepstakes by logging on to foxsports.com. And it was the play where Sean King fakes the clock play and throws it up to Anthony for the touchdown.
That's called the okey doke.
The okey doke. And the Buccaneers pull it out 21-16 over the Patriots. An exciting game. Want to thank you all for watching. This is Ray Bentley for Ron Pitts saying so long, everybody. Stay tuned. The post-game show will be up. The Auto Trader post-game show coming up after these messages.